Okay, now let's talk about chapter one. So, chapter one is about some basic ideas of statistics. So, we're gonna have three sections in chapter one. Section 1.1, which is sampling, section 1.2, types of data, and section 1.3, the design of experiments. So, now for this short video lecture, we're gonna just go over all these materials pretty quick. I want to make sure the video lecture is short so that everybody can get information easily uh, without seeing like a 6 minutes video or so. So section 1.1 sampling. Uh, we're gonna start by talking about statistics. So statistics, of course, that's the topic for this whole summer semester. What exactly statistic is? So statistic is the study of procedures for collecting, describing, and drawing conclusions from information. We actually see statistic every day. So when you read a newspaper, you see some reports, or there's some number related articles. They're all actually statistics. But the daily statistics, or something that you really see from your daily life, that's more about descriptive statistics. And that's just only one branch of the science of statistics. We actually have two main areas. So the first one we just discussed, descriptive statistics, and the second one, which is almost very important, that is inferential statistics. So now let's see why we need statistics. So from this slide, what information can you get? So you may just say a bunch of numbers, random numbers with no certain pattern. So basically, the answer is not much information from it. But actually, these are values, data. So we definitely can get some information from it, just how to get it. So then we're going to talk about descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics consists of collecting, organizing, summarizing, and presenting of such data. So we can have two ways to present those numbers. So the first way we're gonna say is a graphical way. So basically that includes graphs, charts, or tables. And another way we're gonna call it numerical way. So that's more of calculating something. So we're gonna say we calculate the averages, the variance, the percentiles. So those topics are gonna be discussed in the following chapter. And then this is gonna be some brief idea about graphical way and numerical way. So histogram. Let's see histogram. So this is actually the histogram we obtained from slide 5. Those values. And then for the numerical way, so here we calculate the average. So the average of all those numbers. So as we can see here, the average of all those numbers equals negative 0.1552. So these actually are the information we can get from the numbers. From the histogram, we can see the majority. So we got a really high bar here, right? In the center, around 0. So that means the majority of the data values are around 0. So that's the info we can get from the histogram or the graphical way. And the numerical way, we got an average equals negative 0.1552, which is very close to 0 as well. So the info we can get from these numbers is they're describing some values that are very close to 0. that is the descriptive statistics. And now let's see another example. The 1948 baseball season. We can see this is more like from a news. So in 1948, the Washington Senators played 153 games, winning 56 and losing 97. They finished 7th in the American League and were led in hitting by Bud Stewart, whose batting average was .279. So we can see there are a lot of numbers involved. We have those in red. And those are actually, again, descriptive statistics. So in descriptive statistics, the statistician, we're all statistician now because we're taking this course. So what we want to do, we want to describe a situation. So using some numbers, values to describe the data. That is descriptive statistics. And after that, let's talk about inferential statistics. So inferential statistics consists of inferential statistics, the second big area of statistics, consists of generalizing from samples to populations, performing estimations and hypothesis tests, determining a relationship among variables, and making predictions. So basically, we want to make some inference from the sample to the population. So now we need to look at some definitions. What is sample? What is population? What is variable? So for variable, a variable is a characteristic that can assume different values. So for example, we can say gender is a variable because gender could be male, female. It's to be defined. So something that you're really interested in that can vary or variable. And then now let's look at population. A population is the entire collection of individuals about which information is sought. So we have something of interest, and then we want to just collect everything from the pool. That is the population. For example, we can treat every student at SHSU as a population, and a sample, just a subset of the population. We can actually observe the individuals in the sample, but not population. So we could say students attending this 1369 class as during the summer 2 semester are considered as a sample. So those are the individuals that we can actually observe. So variable, population, sample definitions. And now let's look at an example. So a statistical study that we can look at is if we want to know the average height of all SHSU students. So total number of the students will be, so this information is based on a conference that I attend at SHSU. So at that time, we have 21,732 students. So from this study, what will be the population? So can you find out a possible sample? Or another question: why do we need a sample? Why do we even need a sample? So again, the statistical study is that we want to know the average height of all SHSU students. So the population gonna be actually all the inputs. So all SHSU students, and the sample. Possible sample could be, like we mentioned, all students taking 1369 or 3379. So whatever group that are a subset of a population. And why do we need a sample? That is because census is almost impossible. Because if we look at the question, we want to know the average height of all SHSU students. it is really hard to get this information from every single student, from all the 21,732 students. It's really hard. And then because it's impossible, we want to just collect information from a group of people, which is a subset that we can observe. So what is census? Census is just obtaining information for the entire population of interest. And now let's look at the relationship between population and sample. And again, a conclusion about inferential statistics. So inferential statistics is something of interest that we really want to know, but we really don't know the population information. So we have to collect sample and then use sample to make inference about the population. So for this first brief video lecture, let's just stop here. And then starting from slide 13, we're gonna record another video lecture.